overall, besides the part where I was like stripped down to the skivvies, how did you like the date?
I mean, just like you said, it was good. I liked the idea that it was also a surprise for him and he didn't know what we were getting into. Again, I like now looking back on it and what I discovered like throughout that date was he was feeling a lot of pressure and he was like kind of in his head. So I think like presenting him with those challenges too, like definitely pushed him to like a different, side of him that I think he like hadn't really shown yet to us on the show. So I think we hit one point where we had to write a song about each other and then sing it like across the amphitheater with mics, and they were working. I was like, I'm gonna test it, see if it's actually on, and it was on.
Oh, it was on. We all
yeah, it was on.
Oh
there were like people watching, like cameras out, and I'm like just so overwhelmed. And I hit a point where I like kind of got like a little bit upset because I was in my head, and I was just like, I was so scared that he wasn't having a good time and that, he's balancing so many relationships that his memory and like his first memory with me was going to be like uncomfortable and just not having fun. And of course, like I hear him, like he just came back from this amazing date where like he's on a yacht and a helicopter and like now he's like really insecure and like running around in his underwear with me. So I'm like, I kind of got upset in my head because I'm like, I could like go home. Like this could be, like it's a one-on-one, you're not guaranteed to come back. So I'm like, if he doesn't have a good time today, like I might go home. Like he might just be like, this isn't for me. And I didn't want it to be because of like the activities that we were doing.
That's really interesting. That's actually a very interesting point because the date really does contribute to your first memories together, especially the one-on-one when you have an early one.
Right, exactly.
So that's a very like valid thing to feel of like this date is pushing us out of our comfort zone, and is he now going to associate being uncomfortable with our first memory together?
Exactly.
And I know Clayton has mentioned that he is kind of like a bit of a control freak, and a scavenger hunt like that is really going to kind of push you out of your comfort zone. How did you feel on the date? Like, is that kind of like, are you like a go with the flow person, like very adventurous, or are you also someone who is a little bit more like, I'm being really pushed out of my comfort zone and I kind of like to have that control?
So I'm really spontaneous. I'm very go with the flow. So I think I embrace it, and I was honestly fine with it. Like I thought it was cool to get in the underwear and we were like breaking open these piñatas and answering questions, writing the song, whatever. Like I love the activity of that. So I really tried to embrace it and like push him to have a good time because like you said, like he is, likes to be a little bit more in control. So I was fine with the activities. I think it just like it hit me that I felt like he wasn't having a good time. And then the pressure of it. And then it was also like the comparison to like, okay, he's had all these like picture perfect memories with everyone up until this point, and now like this is gonna be like his first bad memory, or like first uncomfortable memory on the show, and it's gonna be with me. Like I just didn't want it to get in the way. But the good news was that once we finished the scavenger hunt, and even like part of the way through, we like, I think that moment where I got upset and he kind of came up to me and was like, we can stop this right now. Like we don't have to continue doing this. Like I'm uncomfortable too. I don't want this to be like, it's not about you. I'm like trying my best. We can stop right now. And we kind of had just like a little like come to Jesus moment where we're like, okay, we're both struggling. We're both like embarrassed and uncomfortable and nervous that the other person isn't having fun. So like, let's get that out in the air. And then we, finished the rest of the scavenger hunt. And then once we got to sit and talk, I think like it definitely provoked a conversation that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So it ended up being good. It was a good, it brought out like a different side of our relationship than I think a different type of date would have. So I'm grateful for it. And I was grateful for it in the moment once we finished. But in the moment, it was definitely very, very trying.